Hey guys, welcome back to my hair review and lifestyle channel. My name is Agapé, like the love and uyomunsi vandag. Today we're going to be ranking Demi Lovato's albums. I'm so excited for this video because every time I make one of these videos I'm going like I have to go back and listen to some of the artist's discography, and it's so like it's very nostalgic, but it's also really I can't speak today. It's also really guys, refreshing is not that difficult of a word to say. It's also really refreshing just listening and seeing the artist's growth from the first time we hear their music to where we are today. And so I'm going to be talking about Demi Lovato, talking about each album, what each album means to me specifically, and yeah, we're going to be ranking them. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you like this content, and don't be shy to tell me what you think. If you think I did this all wrong and I got it all wrong, please don't be shy. Like tell me, especially if you're a Lovatic. Literally don't be afraid to be like, I don't know about that one. Yeah guys, don't be shy. First, do want to say Demi Lovato is one of the, like, I stan her, but I feel like it's very conflicting standing Demi, because sometimes either she does wrong or her team does wrong, like something. It's always interesting standing Demi Lovato. I can say that. So yeah guys, if you're Lovatic and you're like, this ain't it, this ain't it, as I said, like, don't be afraid. This is only my opinion, so please don't come for me, because everybody has an opinion. If you have yours, ciao, flick on your camera and talk about it. So yeah, let's get into it. Guys, I'm going to be starting from the bottom and working my way at the top. I can't remember the numbering of this, so I'm just gonna say the next one, and then I'll number it as I go along when I'm editing. So here we go. The one at the bottom, guys, oh my gosh, the one at the bottom, I'm going to put Here We Go Again. This was Demi's second album that she had released. The reason why it's at the bottom, not to say that her discography is bad, it's just I don't think this is the strongest body of work. There are some memorable songs on this album. For example, So Far So Great, Here We Go Again, Remember December, that's my favorite one. Remember December. I love that song. I don't know what that was. Even Catch Me, I like Catch Me as well. But the reason why and the song, the So Far So Great, that one is from the Sonny with a Chance, like the theme song, right? But the reason why this one is at the bottom is because I think that there are other bodies of work that are better. This is one of, I think this is a cohesive body of work though. There's some of the albums that are going to be above this that aren't as cohesive as this is, but I think that this was like the stepping stone. So we had the first album, then we had this album, and then we had the next album, right? But like in between the two, so we have Don't Forget, which I'm going to mention later on, right? I think the lighting changed, guys. I think it's the sun is moving around. But we have Don't Forget that comes out, and then after this one we have Unbroken, right? So if I'm comparing between Unbroken, Here We Go Again, and Don't Forget, there's a clear distinction as to which one is, guys, do you see the sun is coming back up? There's a clear distinction as to which one is the better one, or I could say which one isn't the strongest body, and it would have to be the one in the middle. And so not to say that I think this is the weakest album in terms of the work. I just think, right, but with these three bodies of work, this one was the weakest link. You're the weakest link. Goodbye. Yeah guys, I'm sorry. So yeah, the next one, this one is, I'm actually disappointed. I was really disappointed in this body of work. I don't know why, but I was quite disappointed. I don't know why. Okay, so the next one that I'm gonna put, I feel like this is gonna be a bit controversial, is Tell Me You Love Me. And the reason why I put this album is because I really thought it was a little bit over the, like, I thought it was all over the place. Like, I think the previous one before this, the Here We Go Again, I think that one was more cohesive in terms of like the message and what was being portrayed throughout like the whole album. I was just guys, this lighting is really taking me for a joke. I was just a little confused as to what the main message of the album was. I think with Tell Me You Love Me, obviously the title track is freaking incredible. I thought that was the best song on the album. We have Sorry Not Sorry with 800 million like hits on Spotify, right? So this album was a really good commercial album, but I think that there were certain songs that you could have either tapped in a little bit more, and yeah, I just think the main message of the album, it was a little bit lost. I didn't have a sense of cohesiveness within the album. I know Ruin the Friendship, that was a song, my favorite song from the album actually. It was You Don't Do This For Me Anymore. Like, I thought that was such a hit ballad. Maybe I'm being like sad because I don't think that song was pushed enough, but I thought that was an incredible song. But the album as a whole, like, I have little favorite songs, but as the album as a whole, like, just listening to it, I kind of feel like a little bit flat. Like, I feel like I was let down a bit, especially when it had come out. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this work. Like, I like a few songs, but just as an album as a whole and just like it flowing, I wasn't super convinced, if that makes sense. Like, I wasn't like, I'm sold. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense, guys. I hope it makes sense. Because I feel like a few good songs can carry an album these days, but I'm talking about like the longevity of the album and the just song in general. I will say I did appreciate all those memes with the Tell Me You Love Me video. I thought that video was incredible. Like, I appreciated all those memes that were flying around where it's like, oh, a boy breathes and then it's me in like my dress. I thought that was funny. Guys, the next album, the album that's just a little bit above this one, is for me this one and the one before, they kind of tied but not really. So the next album I think is Confident, right? I just think that the Confident should have had more impact. Like, I think Confident didn't have the impact that it deserved to have. Like, even the message of the album, what I did appreciate about Confident was it had a clear, like, it had a distinct story. Like, this, it couldn't be more like simple, just like Confident. But I think that for the just bang on honesty of the album, I don't know why it wasn't received as I thought it was going to be received. I think Confident was a little bit more on like the controversial side of Demi Lovato owning her own sexuality, but I don't think that the albums like had so much grit to them, and like in terms of longevity, I don't think Confident was the girl. Confident came out, this was the one that came out after I think one of her best albums, which I'll mention later on. But if I have to compare the two, the longevity that the previous album had, right, versus Confident had like a everyone was talking about it, but like the longevity of an album, I think that's super important when you're discussing an artist's best work. Yes, it is the quality and the instrumentation of the music and the maturity and the growth that you see within a body of work, but I also think it's longevity. I also think that the power of the artist is to be able to pinpoint an era, a successful era, and know that that was a moment. And Confident was on the verge there, but it didn't get there for me. Like, it was going, but it didn't get there. So obviously the reason why Confident is like an incredible body of work still is, I think, because of Demi's ballads. She finds a way to hook you in. With Demi, with the pop music, I think because she has such a strong vocal ability, it's so tricky to like categorize her where you'd be, because I think she sings better than a lot of the pop girls out there, but the way in which she's marketed in and like branded in the pop sense, sometimes it isn't like distinctively pop, right? So a lot of the girlies will get a bit more recognition in the pop genre because they get better streams, but even though we know that Demi Lovato has a better voice, and in the ballad songs, that's where you'll see her voice. So you'll see her vocal ability come up in songs like Father. You'll see her voice come up in songs like Lionheart and in Stone Cold. That's where you'll really see, and I feel like that's where artists other artists show her more appreciation for her vocal ability. But when she's when she's in the pop realm, like songs like Cool for the Summer, right, and Confident, they're there, but something about them misses like a distinct pop sense. And maybe it's because her voice is like too good, like I don't know. But guys, I do want to say, if you think I'm being a little bit too harsh, I want you to know that I'm only comparing Demi to herself. And so the reason why this album might be a little bit low in your opinion is just because I think that there are better bodies of work by this artist. So it's not to say that, obviously people have different opinions on what the best song is, or like the best album is and the best body of work, right? But I'm only comparing it, like Confidence shouldn't be that low. When I look at the songs that I mentioned, I'm like, whoa, I actually really like this body of work. It's not that it's a bad body of work, it's just that she's her own competition in this video. Like, I'm only comparing Demi to Demi, so like you have to get that. The next album is like one of my favorite Demi albums, but it isn't at the top, because I think for personal reasons it's like, I think it's one of the most beautiful bodies of work, and this one is actually called Unbroken. Skyscraper alone is the reason why Unbroken is in the top. Like, it's the reason why it's in the top 3 for me. Like, that song alone was actually one of like the staple songs, and it was one of the first, I wouldn't say introductions to Demi Lovato, because I've always known who she is and I've loved Sonny with a Chance and stuff like that, but it was one of the first real introductions to me as to somebody who I would listen to like continuously, and as to somebody that I started to really admire, not only for the craftsmanship of their music, but just the stories in which were told and the relatability of it, and just going through a lot and being able to just portray that beautifully in your music. And that was such a lot to say, but like Skyscraper really for me got me through like rough times. I'm not even joking. I know a lot of people say that, but I'm not even joking. There were times when like I would just listen to the song and I would just cry, and I'd be like, I know things are gonna be okay. And I was so young at that time, but I could just connect on a different level. Songs like that, songs like Fix Your Heart, like, please. And as you can see, I'm mentioning a lot of like the ballady songs because I think some of those are like her best in her discography. Like, let's not lie about that. Don't drink every time I say discography, because you'd be gone. Looks like For the Love of a Daughter. I don't want to mention all the sad ones, guys. I don't want to mention all the sad ones. Songs like Together with Jason Derulo, like, this body of work, this album was there, like it got there. And this was also one of like the albums that really put Demi into like the mainstream of pop. Like, she was always a pop girly, but this really like solidified that. Like, this really solidified the next ones that I think they're a bit higher, made it known. Like, the best one I think made it known that this is someone who shouldn't be messed with in this genre. But I think this album was like the stepping stones to the recognition that Demi Lovato would have as a pop girl, if that makes sense. And so for that alone, I think this deserves to be in the top 3. They were so strategic with the song. Some of the features were a bit unnecessary, not really unnecessary, but like for me, if you're gonna have a feature with someone like Ayaz, like who was on the whole Energy from Replay, stuff like that, give us a video. That's Missy Elliott and Timbaland. Give us a video. Do you see what I mean? Maybe I feel like the procedures to get to a video maybe would have been tricky, but you see what I mean. Sometimes Demi does do that. She gives us features but then not a video. At least with an album from, at least with a song from a previous album, she did give us a video, but I'll talk about that later. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? But Skyscraper alone was enough for me to put this album high up there, if that makes sense. Like, it was enough for me. She didn't have to do much, just release that song, and I'm like, yep, she is the moment. She is the moment. The album that I put in second place is actually our baby. This is Don't Forget. I was 8 years old and I heard the line, I'm not a supermodel, I still eat McDonald's. I was like, you know what, this is someone I can relate to, this is someone who is a pop girl, this is someone who I mess with. I think that this was one of the strongest debuts from not only an X act, right, but just a debut album that really set Demi up for who she's going to be. Like, I think a lot of people can still mess with this album and not mess with Demi, like her more current music. I think there's like older generations appreciate this a lot more. I'm only 19. Someone's gonna be like, that's old. No, but like, I'm only 19, so like when this album had come out, I hadn't really appreciated it in all its glory. I had to actually just go back recently and just re-listen to the body of work and be like, wow, yeah, I get that why people would like gravitate towards this. This was also when Disney was like Disney machine, as in they were like pushing artists, and this album was pushed, and rightfully so, right? Because La La Land will forever be a moment. Something shifted when La La Land came out, like something really did shift. But songs like Believe in Me, Two Worlds Collide, Don't Forget, like those really cemented and really laid the foundations for who an artist is going to be. Like usually in their debut, right, some artists, especially when you're so young doing it, some artists get really confused as to what sound they want to make. But at least with Demi, her vocal ability alone can lend her to various different styles and various different like punky, almost soulfully, but like the sureness that this album had, I felt like this album was confident. I don't want to be cheesy though, but like I felt that there was this sort of like assertiveness with this body of work that I was like, yeah, I get that why people were obsessed with this when it came out, because there's something about just like starting off knowing yourself, like starting off and being like, this is the music that I want to make, this is the sound that I want to like express, and like something about that I was really able to gravitate towards, even as somebody who was super young, and now like 10 years later listening to the album and being like, I can still see that. And not a lot of music can make me like get like that, and that's why you have to appreciate this. You just have to, like, you just have to. Guys, the album in first place, the best album in Miss Demetria's discography, right, has to be what? Self-titled. Has to be her self-titled album called Demi, and I'm going to say the deluxe for this one. I'll talk about the deluxe. Actually, I'll just talk about now the deluxe. I really love the deluxe because it had the Give Your Heart a Break, the cover on that, and also had the song Up with Ollie Murs that they performed. I really enjoyed that song. Like, it's very cute. You gotta hold on to what you're feeling. That feeling is the best thing, alright. Anyway, can this song go in a different direction? Can this video go in a different direction? Let me talk to him. No, but the reason why this album for me is like pop, like one of the standards. This album is really not even neck and neck, but like this album is really up there with me, like with 1989. I really think Demi took a chance with this album, and the chance, it really succeeded. Like, I really think she took a chance, and in the end it really did pay off. Like, for me, it's up there with 1989. Like, I think it's that good. And I feel like people don't give it enough credit because they say, oh, it's Demi Lovato, but like, okay, and it wasn't a song that didn't deliver, and it didn't, like, it gave us what it needed to. Like, if you're going to go into pop, I want you to go full on, like, give it to us. With Heart Attack was such a big moment. If you work in retail, you'll probably hate it, but like it was such a moment. I remember seeing the video and I'd be like, and also just the vocal ease, I would say ease, but probably wasn't easy, just that she was able to take with Heart Attack when she did the key change, and everybody tried doing covers and singing the song, and they would just go flat. Like, Demi is the moment, like, and I know things shifted when that song, I said it before, but with Heart Attack, the tectonic plates, they went like the vocal ability that song, and it was very poppy, but she was really able to go for the rock, like transcendent. I just think one would only have to transcend. Really don't care, really, with Chéyenne, and that's not the one I'm talking about with the video. But Give Your Heart a Break, guys. These were moments. These were really moments and I appreciated that. I really appreciated that. But we can also talk about versatility, and this was an album that I thought was better than Tell Me You Love Me, in the sense that it was very poppy, right? But the versatility allowed for it to be allowed for it to still be cohesive. Like, it was still a cohesive album in my opinion, even though there was a lot going on. I thought it was still a cohesive album because it was that good. Like, if you're gonna give me an album, make sure every song is a top 10. Like, I can't, there are no fillers in this album in my opinion, right? And so even with the ballady songs, we have In Case. Oh, in case you change your mind, I'll be waiting here. In case you just want to come home. Oh my, I'm literally getting like emotional when I think about that song. Like, I'm not even playing with you guys. I'm not even playing with you guys. Nightingale, Warrior, please, let's be serious about this. Let's actually be serious about this. Like, the song, you can go from dancing da 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 da, and then re-evaluating your past relationships, like, in an album. That's what Miss Demetria was doing when she gave us this body of work. Like, something that you're not, please. This is getting very stupid. Firestarter, guys. Every single song, I'm a fire. Every single song on this album gave us something different, and that's why I really do think it's her best body of work. It's her best body of work. Like, I have no words. I literally have no words. 2014 was a great year because it gave us this body of work. It was incredible. Even the visuals for this was really amazing. It was quite soft with like Give Your Heart a Break and stuff, but with like Heart Attack, with the black dripping and the black in the album, and she's like this. That was for the deluxe one, but the other one she's like this. She's like this. I thought this was exceptional. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Don't forget to comment, guys. I said a whole bunch of things, but I would love to just engage with you, and let's see if what your favorite song was mine from each album. And don't be afraid, don't like curse at me or something like that, but don't be afraid to let me know what you guys thought. I would love to engage with you guys and just tackle this. And yeah, I'm excited to see what the new album has to present. I don't want to full on live in nostalgia all the time. I need new things to be living up to that and like giving us that quality. And I enjoy doing these videos because right, is because we generally are just comparing the artist to the artist and giving the best, and not only the best in comparison to like what other people are doing, but that you're topping yourself consecutively and you're always improving. And so yeah guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.